All right, good afternoon. How are you? I hear energy in the room and I like it. So welcome, welcome, welcome to you and greetings. This is our annual Bites and Bubbly for RSVP Northern Virginia. So we're very excited to have you and welcome to being in this space with us. So I am Stacy Iden and I am the program manager and I've met most of you. Some of you are a bit newer, so I'm putting faces from behind the video screens and all of that we do, but we're glad to see you and have you in person here. And so on behalf of RSVP, I'm going to bring up my colleagues a minute because I want to make sure to introduce. I told you I'm Stacy, so if Patricia and Tina can come up here, and I'm going to move over here a second. Come on, Tina. There we go. So here you go. Here's your team.
You hold it.
Hold it.
This is Patricia's job.
I heard it. All right.
All right, I got one.
So that's the team. And so we wish you kind of an M&M experience today as we go through. So kind of the order of events for today of what's happening. I sent emails out, but just to remind you, there's the M&M game. You've got your little pill box. So enjoy tasting, and you can keep on tasting throughout, because at the end, I am going to give you the answers so that you know whether you are on target or not. So we'll get to that in a little bit. There will be just a brief presentation in here, but I'm hoping to keep it interactive and hoping to have you engaged in that. So there's two words that I've been using over and over the last couple of weeks as we've been preparing for this. And so, of course, our M&Ms we have. So it's marvelous and meaningful, because the work that you do is marvelous and the impact that you have on the community is meaningful. And so as we move through the presentation today, I'm going to kind of start a sentence, and at the end, you're going to hear where it's time to say marvelous and meaningful. And I want you to engage with me, okay? I see some heads nodding that you can do that for me. So I told you we'll review the answers to the candy game. We are going to do a toast because this is the end of our grant year. Odd time, March 31st, but we are ending our grant year. This is actually grant 5, and it's year 1 that we're ending. So we're going to be moving in on April 1 to grant 5, year 2. So we want to do a toast and celebrate what we've done, but look forward to a new year. I've told many of you that it's like starting over again, right? So on April 1, it's a clean slate again, and we can't count you until you submit a timesheet. Little plug. On that. So when you submit your timesheet in April or May or June, whenever you get around to it and are out volunteering on behalf of RSVP, that's when we can begin to count you again for the new grant year. So that's going to be a toast that we'll do. And then afterwards, upstairs, you are invited to come upstairs. This is just a little flavor of what's upstairs when you look at the M&M event up there. So we want you to come up and enjoy some food and some fellowship and just some fun. This is a day to really just recognize you, all of you out there, and recognize and celebrate the good work that you do in the community. So this is not a project. We're not working on a project today. I'm sorry. If you want a project, there are several of you actually going later today. I see some of you nodding your heads out there to actually a group service project to help Main Street Child Development Center. But this is really just about being together and celebrating. There are some newer folks here, so make sure to introduce yourself or mingle with other people to make everybody feel welcome and comfortable. And then at 2:30, you got a little raffle ticket, right? Hold on to that, because at 2:30 today, we have 7 $25 gift cards that will be given out at 2:30 today. But everybody gets a gift today, so nobody leaves without a gift. RSVP will give you something today, and they're nice. And then on top of that, you have that opportunity to possibly win one of the raffles. So with that said, I'm going to start a presentation. Remember, you're going to say what? Marvelous and meaningful. That's what we are all about. So as I said, we are just recognizing and we are celebrating the marvelous and meaningful work that you do. So we're going to talk about the marvelous things that are happening and some of the marvelous partnerships and relationships. So first off, without AmeriCorps, we wouldn't be here today, right? Because AmeriCorps is the federal funding for the grant that we have. And so we are very pleased to be part of AmeriCorps Seniors, and you being a volunteer and member of AmeriCorps Seniors with us and for us. And so on behalf of AmeriCorps, I'm going to invite May-Jean Deem to come up. May-Jean is part of Volunteer Fairfax, but she also serves as the authorized representative for our grant. So she's my supervisor, and she's the one that just helps with the grant and just helps with perspective and just is an encourager and energy and all the things that you would want from a supervisor. So I'm very thankful to have her here and speak on behalf of AmeriCorps for a few minutes.
Thank you so much, Stacey. Thank you for such a kind introduction, and welcome, and thank you all for being here today. We're so excited to have this time of fellowship, fun, together to celebrate all that we've accomplished. I'm here to share a little bit more about how AmeriCorps is set up and how we fit into that larger structure. So AmeriCorps, as many of us know, is a federal agency for national service and volunteerism, providing opportunities for Americans of all backgrounds to serve their country and address the nation's most pressing challenges. More than 200,000 AmeriCorps members and AmeriCorps senior volunteers serve each year, empowering millions more to address needs in their communities. In Virginia alone, we had nearly 3,000 members and volunteers serve at over 370 locations. Nearly half of those were AmeriCorps senior volunteers. So you, yes, I think that is absolutely something to celebrate with us today. Because of your investment, we are meeting lots of challenges that we have across our community, and that investment is critical to the health and stability of our neighbors, family, and friends. The overwhelming success of RSVP Northern Virginia has clearly been noticed by AmeriCorps seniors as we have been approved for our next year grant cycle federal funding. And as we've all seen in the recent news, that hasn't necessarily been a guarantee that we have been watching closely, and so I'm pleased to share that news with you all today. I'd like to thank all of you for being here today, but I also just want to give another round of applause to the RSVP-NV team for all of their hard work and dedication, and especially this lady, Stacey Iden, whose vision, commitment, generosity, and just welcoming nature is such a gift to our team at Volunteer Fairfax and to all of our volunteers whose lives she touches. So I think with that, I will pass it over to Jennifer Williamson, who will speak as the CEO of Volunteer Fairfax about the larger programming that we have in the community. Thank you all again for being here.
And before Jennifer takes it over, remember what we were going to say, right? AmeriCorps senior support is what? Marvelous and meaningful. Thank you, May-Jean. So yes, so as May-Jean just shared, we've got AmeriCorps, and then out of AmeriCorps comes Volunteer Fairfax, because AmeriCorps requires that you have a host site for your program. And so Volunteer Fairfax is served as the host site for the AmeriCorps RSVP program. Actually, this is the 13th year we just finished, so we're moving into the 14th year. So we have a great and wonderful partnership and relationship. We wouldn't be in this room, in this space, if it weren't for Volunteer Fairfax. Upstairs, when you come for wonderful and welcome Wednesdays and participate, that's all because of Volunteer Fairfax as well. So we are very grateful, and I'm very grateful to Jennifer for her support too. So Jennifer?
Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer Williamson, and I'm the CEO of Volunteer Fairfax, and I'm delighted to welcome you all here today. Thank you so much for all of your time volunteering with our programs, with RSVP Northern Virginia, and I know some of you also volunteer in other capacities with Volunteer Fairfax, and we really appreciate it. So that being said, we're wonderful partnership with the team from RSVP Northern Virginia. Stacy is a marvel. Wait until you see what's upstairs. She definitely has special skills in that area, and I know you all work closely with her and the rest of the team and know how special they are. So just want to thank you all for coming, and I'm around if you want to engage further with Volunteer Fairfax. Thank you so much.
All right. So we get to be reminded, right, that Volunteer Fairfax's collaboration is marvelous and meaningful. Thank you. So AmeriCorps, then Volunteer Fairfax, we need both, but we have to have our volunteer stations because if we didn't have our volunteer station partners, we wouldn't have a place by which to kind of connect our volunteers. So we are most appreciative of our volunteer stations. And you'll see a list here. They're in alphabetical order, and there's a lot of them because we now have 46 partners, which is a lot of partners. So yes, we can definitely celebrate that. And if you are a partner volunteer station rep, if you would stand up, please, because I want to recognize you for being here. Yes. Thank you. As I said, we could not do it without. We have 46 partners. 6 of them were new this year. We had 40 last year. And so we're just very appreciative of the relationship, appreciative of how those partnerships go with responsiveness and the hospitality that's extended to our RSVP volunteers. So many thanks to you. So I'm going to flip through the next slide so that nobody feels left out. If you're in alphabetical order, we'll get to the next slide that gets all of them on there. And then we can say together that volunteer station partnerships are marvelous and meaningful. So thank you for being here. So we're going to get to our meaningful part of the event as well. And in that meaningful, we're going to focus on you, the volunteer. And so we need you, the volunteer, right? So we've got AmeriCorps, we've got Volunteer Fairfax, we've got all of our volunteer stations, but if we didn't have volunteers placing them to help the stations, it wouldn't work. So we are celebrating you, our volunteers, and just recognizing the incredible, dedicated work that you do. I know, and I say all the time, that when you all are out representing RSVP, we hear it. And it's all good. And we're so appreciative of the work that you do. You have such a tremendous impact. And I know that our volunteer stations are so appreciative of the work that you do. And I know you don't do it to hear thank you or to have those words said to you, but I hope that you do know the impact that you are having in the community. So I want to recognize kind of volunteers in a couple ways. I've shared with you, and Karen shared with you, that we needed 175 volunteers, right? That was the magic number that we needed for AmeriCorps. AmeriCorps requires that we set goals, and we have to accomplish that. I just went on right before I came down just to confirm. Now, Miss Tina does all of the timesheets for us, right? Yes, you can do it. You can do it because we needed 175, and guess how many we have? 176. 176. So, because of you, the volunteer, we have made that goal on the number. So very appreciative to those newest folks that have joined in and are getting ready and excited to kind of continue. As I shared, we've got volunteers that are kind of serving in a number of different ways. And so many of you serve as recurring volunteers, where you go out to the volunteer stations on a regular basis. You provide your time, your talent, your experience, your energy, all of those things, and you do that regularly. That's quite a commitment to be able to do that. And we have 6 focus areas by which we do that, and there are 11 work plans that we're working to accomplish. So if you go out on a regular, recurring basis to our stations, one of our stations or more, would you stand up so that we can recognize you? Wow, absolutely, absolutely. And we're going to say that recurring volunteer service is what? Marvelous and meaningful. That's right. So another way that our volunteers serve is through our Welcome Wednesdays, and those have become very popular. Karen and I started those a while back, thinking that we'd get a few people in the office to come say hello to us after COVID, and we've grown into it being quite a monthly experience and social opportunity where everybody's building a relationship while working on something wonderful to impact the community. So on the third Wednesday of every month, we gather here at the office, and I want to share some numbers with you. There were 86 different participants that were participating this year. That was a cumulative number of 274 participants over the 12 months. We averaged 23 participants at each of those Welcome Wednesdays, and we accomplished 19 projects for our volunteer stations. So that's great. And when I say yes, when I talk about a project might be literacy kits. Where's Stacy? Literacy kits that you cut and cut and cut and cut and cut, and you do that week after week after week because it takes that long to get it done. But we've done I Spy kits, we've done all kinds of kit packing for Red Cross. We've done a lot this year as an RSVP team, and you have made that happen. So your impact out in the community, I'm going to say Welcome Wednesday volunteer service is what? Marvelous and meaningful. That's right. It has a huge impact on our station. So thank you for that. Another way that volunteers, you are busy out in our community is through group service projects. And so that's where we actually are going out in the community and having a difference. Welcome Wednesdays, we do something here, but group service projects, we're out in the community. And this year, there were 13 projects that took place out in the community. It was a total of 78 participants doing that. So I would like for anybody, actually, did we have our Welcome Wednesday people stand? Oh, Welcome Wednesday people stand. Stand up, Welcome Wednesday people. My golly, that's a lot of you, isn't it? Thank you, thank you, thank you, because your service is marvelous and meaningful. If you are a group service project person, if you go out into the community and represent us on kind of short-term basis, and there are a number of you, and I know there are some, as I said, going this afternoon again to the Main Street Child Development Center. If you are a group service project volunteer, can you stand up for us? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And we're going to say group service project volunteer service is what? Marvelous and meaningful. That's right. So there's another way that we have volunteers that serve with us. We actually have a few volunteers that work for the RSVP/Volunteer Fairfax office that come on a regular recurring basis, and I'm not sure you know about that. They kind of work behind the scenes and you don't see them as much, but today you're going to see them because Janine Louth, you're going to stand up. And Kristen Ramke, where's Kristen? Yay. And Bob Kovac, where's Bob? Bob's right there. And where's Mary Ellen Dolly? Yep, in the back. Yay. So those are our recurring volunteers with our office. So we can say that RSVP office volunteer service is what? Marvelous and meaningful, that's right. And we have an advisory council, those that help to guide kind of the strategy, the thought of our program. And we have a few of those folks here with us today. So Mike Nixon, if you'll stand up, and Emily Rudebush is here. Emily Swenson, did Emily make it? Yes, yay. And Martha Tesfaye, is Martha here? Not yet, she's gonna join us a little bit later. So wait, don't sit down. Because advisory council service is marvelous and meaningful. Absolutely. So yes, very good. So this picture here just shows M&Ms, right? Does it have any meaning to it? Would be the question, right? It does have some meaning to it. And it just is everybody. You know, there are 7 M&Ms sitting around there. We just talked about 7 different groups that represent our RSVP and the service that we provide out in the community through the program. So it really does take all of us working together for RSVP to find success, and you have been part of that success. And so we celebrate you today. So thank you, thank you, thank you for what you've done, and thank you for what you're going to do. And know that those in the community who may not have a voice to be able to share their acknowledgement of you, that we're saying it for them, because they do appreciate what you do. So thank you for that. So with that, I'm going to give you the answers to your M&M game. Yeah? Are you ready? We're going to kind of fly through it. How many of you think you did really well? Yeah, you think you did well? There's Kim back there saying, I did. Okay. We did it in our team. Well, we did it with one of our team. We did it with Karen. We made Karen eat one after another, after another, after another. And her palate didn't go very well with it, she said. But, so, I'm going to go to the first one. Here's just the game, just getting you psyched up a little bit. Have you tasted that first one? Oh, don't look at that card. That says Monday. We're going to Sunday. Sunday. So pretzel. How'd you do? Yeah? Thumbs up if you got it. Yeah? Okay. We're on a roll. So now we're going to Monday. Any ideas on Monday? Caramel what? Caramel cold brew. Yeah, you get half credit. Yeah. Sandy, you're in competition against yourself, so you can you take all the credit you want. Okay, got it. All right, we're getting to Tuesday. Strawberry something? Did you like it? Karen did not, that's why I'm asking. All right, I'm moving on to it. Strawberries and cream. Strawberries and cream. All right, Tuesday. So now we're headed into Wednesday. There were 3 little ones in that one. This was my daughter's favorite, actually. She was like, that's the one. That's the one. And she likes cookies a lot. Crunchy cookie. M&M crunchy cookie. Who knew? Who knew? Okay. So then we're moving to Thursday. Some of you on Thursday were telling me, what do you think on Thursday? There's some peanut butter. I heard something. Peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter and jelly. Yum. Okay. All right. So Friday. Any thoughts on Friday? Coconut? Okay. This one is something coming up. White and dark chocolate Easter Sunday. Yeah, Karen says, did anybody get that one?
On Friday.
No? Okay. So the last one is to clean your palate. Mint. It's holiday mint. And it's not old, okay, I promise you. Not old there. So how'd you do? How many of you got them all? How many got one? I love it. 2? 3? 4? 5? Anybody on 5? 6? No, 5. Stand up. We're going to give you a great big applause. Woo, 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 woo. Yay. 5 of those. That's tough to do. All right. Well, hopefully you can enjoy that, and instead of putting M&Ms in it, you can put your pills in it, or you can just fill it with M&Ms and take it with you, right? So all up to you, but those are yours to take with you, so enjoy those there. So I am going to hold this slide right now because our ladies right there are going to bring you a little bit of bubbly, because as I said, we're going to do a toast down here. So while they're finishing the last of them so that everybody's got their bubbly cup, so I shared with you that Bob and Mary Ellen are volunteers that help us through RSVP, and it was about a year ago, a little over a year ago, that we were introduced to them at one of our outreach sessions and our outreach events, and Bob and Mary Ellen were talking about, oh, I create videos, I like to do those things, do you have anything that we can do? And I'm like, So they have been very busy with us doing things for RSVP, but also for Volunteer Fairfax as well. So they took the theme, and not only is the theme you'll see here, but Mary Ellen's been working, she's got a Cricut machine, you know about those? Yeah, you'll see upstairs. She's been busy on that as well. But they've created this video, so I want to share the video. It's just a real short video, but you'll love it and you'll smile, and then we'll do a toast, and then we'll raise our glass here in a minute, okay? So let me make sure I get it started. So thank you, Bob. Thank you, Mary Ellen, for sharing that for us. But very cute. Well, yes. You know what? And I can't speak for them. The number of hours that goes into that, because they move each little piece. It's like time lapse, right? And move every little piece to make that happen. So how many hours, Bob, Mary Ellen?
A day shooting and a half a day editing.
Oh my golly, yes. So we're appreciative anyway, so thank you. But you're right, RSVP volunteers rock, don't they? So with that said, let's get our toasting ready to do. So to RSVP Northern Virginia's success over this past year, thank you to all in this room who played a significant role in making it happen. We are grateful. RSVP volunteer service is what? Marvelous and meaningful. Hear, hear. That's right. Cheer, cheer, cheer. Oh, that's good. That's easy. All right. So let me just move to the last slide. And that's it, the formal part of our presentation. So many and much, or much and many, thanks for all you do. We really appreciate you. So this is just a time, as I said, down here to just formally recognize you. We started new, if you recall, the Presidential Awards, where we're going to be tracking hours and numbers, all of that, and we're going to do that celebration in the fall so that we can end our grant year and really have accurate numbers. It's always been difficult to have our numbers at this event because we're not done with our month yet and we don't have our timesheets in. So we'll look forward to celebrating a bit more with you then. But as I shared, we're going to head upstairs in just a minute. And when you get up there, it is just a time for you to enjoy, socialize, take it all in, lots of food up there. And then as you leave the event, then you will stop by the gift room. There's a kind of a small conference room as you walk into that, the hallway where you come into the main office there. So everybody please go to the gift room because there is something for everyone. And then at 2:30 we'll do our drawing and see who wins our door prizes, okay? So thank you so much for being here, and up the steps you go, right? Or elevator. All right, thank you so much.